There was so much content in the Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase that there's a ton of things that we actually missed. There were a ton of details and secrets in the Hogwarts Legacy Showcase that went by so fast that we just didn't see them. I'm going to talk about those 10 hidden secrets I found today, and it's things that most of us definitely missed. Some are a bit more subtle, but I'm going to go through all of these right now for you guys. Secret number 1 is whispering keys. So we got some sort of teaser about whispering keys being in the game, but in this gameplay showcase feature, you can see they demonstrated the quest line beginnings as well as the beginnings to dialogue by going up to Natsai Onai and speaking with her to start your first quest. You can see that right there. Find the dandelion key in the astronomy tower. So for this quest, you're going to go into the astronomy tower and they're going to demonstrate right here where they're walking by this board with written items on it. Now the thing about whispering keys is as you walk closely to them, you can begin to hear them and they essentially whisper to you. So you're on a hunt to find these whispering keys throughout Hogwarts. If it's anything like the shows that we've seen, these whispering keys, once you find them, will be able to be used for certain things in terms of using different abilities, unlocking doors, unlocking portals, doing some sort of action out in the world of Hogwarts. These keys could actually have a profound effect on the game, as they can include abilities and things that you can actually do with them. If you aren't familiar, this is very similar to the Netflix show Lock and Key. This show features 3 main characters, Kenzie Locke, Tyler Locke, and Bodhi Locke, who live in a house filled with hidden whispering keys. As they find these keys, they find their abilities to be able to do certain things, and an evil villain tries to take all these keys from them to rule and destroy the world. Being the case that in the show, these keys have different and magical abilities, I think it's safe to assume in this game, they're also going to be able to have different abilities. And if you listen very closely in this gameplay trailer, and you may need to turn up the volume, but you can actually hear the whispering behind the talking of the people that are doing the demonstration, and you can hear the key whispering to you very loudly once you get by this board. Hidden secret number 2 was also found in the astronomy tower. This is going to be a bid to new creatures that we haven't seen in the game yet. Definitely from this gameplay scene, you can see the dragon skeleton at the top of the room hanging, obviously indicating dragons, which we already know is in the game. But as you continue on in this scene, you can see other things like this ostrich skeleton. I think it's safe to say with that, we can probably expect ostriches or some form of this animal out in the world just roaming around and exploring. The wilderness is already going to contain a lot of different animals, but that's definitely going to be one of them, and I think that just opens up the door to show us that the wilderness is going to be full of not just enemies, but all kinds of different creatures as well. And as you're walking out of the door here, you can actually see 2 different drawings of animals that are on this board. One looks to be a dragon. The other looks to be some sort of seal type water animal. If you know what that is, let me know in the comments. But it's definitely some sort of water-like creature. But some people actually thought that they saw a squid in the Hogwarts Legacy trailer. You can decide that for yourself. But that just shows there's going to be a ton of different creatures out in the wilderness for us to actually find and explore. Secret number 3 is the Hogwarts Kitchen. So you can see right here in this short gameplay clip from the showcase, as the player is walking out of the Hufflepuff common room and headed up the stairs towards the grand dining hall, you can see the commentators kind of laugh a little bit, almost like they spoiled something. And you can actually see a small dot and a field guide page. Field guide pages in this game obviously resemble some sort of place or item of importance. So you can see as you walk out of the Hufflepuff common room, this painting on the wall with fruit on it has a field guide page. If you're not fully familiar with the Harry Potter movies, Dobby first meets Ron Weasley in 1994 in the Hogwarts Kitchens. This is where Dobby worked. This kitchen lies on the other side of the painting with the fruit on it, meaning when you walk past this painting with a field guide, it's actually the door to the Hogwarts Kitchen, which we can see in the prior trailer partially. This is where the elves prepare meals for Hogwarts to go to the grand dining hall, considering the commentators here laugh as they walk past it, because it is something that we expect to see in the game. As you walk upstairs, you can see the dining hall here on your right. And according to the books and the movies, the kitchen lies right underneath the dining hall, meaning it would be right where that painting would lead to. Secret number 4 is mystery plaques. So as you can see right here, as you are coming up the steps from the Hufflepuff basement, you can see something on the wall here with a question mark and an option to roll. So I'm assuming this is some sort of like either tutorial thing or some sort of little mystery item that if you do something, it may unlock something else. Sort of like a general puzzle in the game. I think they definitely put that there, obviously, when the player walks by it to be seen. You can also see here in another scene when you're walking through this building. I'm assuming, like I said, it's just going to be a mystery puzzle that once completed, it will unlock something else or some sort of progress to completing or finishing another puzzle. Or maybe it will just give you experience. Who knows? Secret number 5 is going to be the locked areas in this game. So there's one specific area that you can see that we notice is locked. So you can see walking through this set of doors, after you walk through, there's a door right here with a little white dot on it. And when you pause, it says level lock, right? So this is something I definitely didn't immediately notice in the showcase, but now we can assume there's a lot of areas in Hogwarts that you're going to be able to explore clearly, but there's a lot of areas where you're not able to get into them until you reach a certain level or certain in-game content or have some certain skill. So all your skills and levels and everything are going to come into play in terms of the areas you can get and the areas you'll be able to access as the game progresses. This means at the start of the game, you're not just going to have access to go anywhere. You're going to have to unlock certain spots. Secret number 6 is mystery statues. So I have no true idea what these statues are. You can see walking away from the dining hall here, there's a statue and it's outlined in white, assuming that means you can interact with it somehow via some sort of spell. And I'm assuming it's some sort of collection item. So let's say you hit a certain amount of statues in Hogwarts, maybe there's 35 of them. If you get all 35 of them, you get some sort of collector's award and you get XP as you do each individual one. I'm assuming this is a part of the secrets and just collection items that are going to be in the game, since I'm assuming there are going to be a ton of them. Secret number 7 is the magic meter. So in the Hufflepuff common room at the beginning of the gameplay showcase, they go through the HUD and the UI of the immediate like spells that you can use right here, the mini map. They don't go into the L1 button very much, but then they tell you the little green bar at the bottom is your health, and they don't want to spoil the bar above it. Now, we already know what that bar is, and if you don't know, it's your magic meter, meaning the special magic that you have. So in Hogwarts Legacy, as the original trailer kind of teased and hinted at, you have magical abilities that are very special and not a lot of wizards understand. This is a sort of special magic that really only you have. But you can see in this gameplay right here kind of what that looks like. And then you can also see in gameplay footage of fighting against enemies right here. As you're hitting combos and dealing damage to enemies, you can see the combo ×5 down on the bottom. That blue bar has started to fill up a little bit. Once that blue bar is filled all the way up, you should be able to use your ultimate magic ability, which would obviously do a lot of damage to enemies, and who knows what else it could do. Secret number 8, classes. So this is no true totally secret, but obviously in the gameplay trailer you can see some of the commentators talking about outside being able to see the greenhouse to talk about herbology class. Obviously we go in the dark arts classroom. One classroom I don't think they specifically mentioned that they did kind of also laugh at here is the pan over to this door. As you can see, this door has a bunch of different animals all around it, and we can only assume that this is some sort of care of magical creatures class that references, again, like the character Poppy Sweeting, who cares about animals and teaches you how to take care and how to handle certain animals out in the wilderness of Hogwarts. This also plays part into the Fantastical Beasts movies, where in Hogwarts Legacy you have an vivarium and you can actually tame creatures and keep them in your vivarium and end up doing some sort of thing with. In this class, students learn about a wide range of magical creatures, from flobberworms to hippogriffs, unicorns, thestrals, everything. So I think this is going to be a class that they didn't directly touch on, but obviously, as you can see, it's here to stay. Secret number 9, location and fast travel. Now, obviously during the showcase, you can see the player walking around and getting certain areas. So it's indicated by this green emblem of glowing fire around an area, indicating that you have discovered that location. Now, I think one of the big things in this game is this map is going to be pretty big. So if you really think about it, each time you discover a location, I would really expect that we would be able to fast travel to some of these locations, meaning if you discover the location Hogsmeade or you discover the location in this building all the way across Hogwarts, more than likely you're going to be able to fast travel to that location so you don't have to run back and forth all the time. Obviously, we're going to want to experience the castle, walking through the castle, doing the daily activities, etc. But over time, being able to fast travel would be very nice. And secret number 10, again, not really a total secret, but we finally got a look at the menus in Hogwarts Legacy almost fully. So as you can see in this menu, you can see a ton of different things, collections, your owl post, a thing for your quests, the map. If only we could have actually gotten a good look at the map itself. That would have been too big of a spoiler though. Your inventory, your gear, talents, and you can see another expansion of these menus showing your combat, quests, exploration, field guide pages, and room of requirement overall progress. If you're like me, obviously you're going to want to go and get 100% in everything. I'm sure that's going to take a very, very long time in this game. But we get a look into everything that we could actually possibly get into and do for the most part, or a broad overview of that. And finally, I just want to touch on the huge open world. So everybody expects this game to be pretty big and have a pretty solid size open world, but I don't think people really understand. So the commentators, especially in this showcase, made sure to emphasize how big this map is by the fact of walking out in certain areas, looking out into the distance and saying, this is one of the things we like about this game. If you see something, we want you to be able to go there. Meaning if you really zoom in and look, all these mountains and everything in the background, etc., which probably extends way farther than we can even see or can even think of, you're going to be able to go. Meaning there's going to be a ton of content in the game to explore, not just a ton of dead space. I'm sure there's going to be content literally littered all over the place, and it will take quite a while for us to be able to do that. And I can't even imagine now the amount of POIs or points of interest in this game. I'm sure there are going to be a ton of different locations to explore. That being said, if you want to know how to become an evil wizard in Hogwarts Legacy, make sure to click this video on the right side of the screen and subscribe on the left side of the screen via the button. If you guys like this Hogwarts Legacy video, make sure to drop a like on the video below. That being said, thank you guys for watching.